So in this video, we're going to see para versus por. So, and why this is a problem? Because para and por means for. So here you have a summary of them, okay? But I don't like to just say, oh, this is para, we use para because I like you to make you think a little bit. So let's do this exercise. So use of para first, okay? So what do you think is this use? What is the end point or destination for this present? Let me make it a little bit bigger. What is destination or end point of this present? You see, el regalo, you see, el regalo es para María. Okay, very good. El regalo es para María. So the end point in this case would be María. Okay, let's see this one. What do you think is this one? Yo voy para casa, which is the end point or destination. The destination is the house. So the end point or destination is the use of this use of para. So yo cocino la carne para mi familia. So basically it has, if I say yo cocino para la familia, the family is the end point or destination. So for example, yo voy para Ecuador, I go to Ecuador. So remember, everything that has an end point is always para. And you see why this is important then when I give you the difference with por. Then, okay, let's see now. What do you think is this use? The purpose of this chair is to, so el propósito de la silla es para. Okay, if you say sit down, it's okay, but in Spanish es sentarse, okay, sentarse. El propósito de la silla es sentarse, so it's to sit down. Very good. So what do you think is this use? Look, let's look another one. The pencil is to, el lápiz es para. What is the pencil for? Escribir. What? Okay, very good. El lápiz. What do you think is this use? If you say purpose, it's okay. I'm just gonna be a little more specific and say it's the literal purpose of something. Okay, like in this case, I'm gonna show you another one. You see, literal purpose. The book is to read. Muy bien. El libro es para escribir. Very good. Escribir, sorry, leer. To read, leer. So el libro es para leer. So that's the literal purpose, okay? So, literal purpose. So then, let's see another use. So we have the first use, what was it? The end point or destination. The second use is the literal purpose. Okay, let's do this one now. And he studies for the, or él estudia para él. Okay, very good. So if you say examen, is correct, or exam. Okay, let's see another example. What do you think is this use? She's doing a diet too, o ella está haciendo dieta para. Okay, if you see lose weight is correct, o para bajar de peso, you say in Spanish, okay, bajar de peso. So what do you think is this use? And this use is the reason why you do something, okay? Only the reason why you do something, not the consequence, just the reason why you do it, okay? So we have, I like always to do the summary so I help you study a little bit, right? The first one was the end point or destination. The second one, the literal purpose. And the third one is the reason why you do something, okay? Let's see another example. Yeah, this is the reason why you do something. So as he works in order to, o él trabaja para, what do you think he works for? Para ganar dinero or earn money, right? He works to earn money, okay. So, you see, this is the reason why you do something. Now, I have to tell you a little difference in here. So it says, yo voy a ir a Brasil para trabajar. So I'm going to go to Brazil for work. And then, yo voy a ir a Brasil por trabajo. So in the reason why you do something, if it's the para for, and after the para there's a verb, then so it's the reason for do something para, it goes with para if there's a verb, sorry. So, and if after por there's a noun, then it goes por. So with a noun goes por, you see por trabajo or para trabajar. So it's like I'm going to Brazil in order to work, and I'm going to Brazil for work. So let's see some examples now. And another thing, there's not like an official use for this, but many students ask me, like, when you work for somebody, what it is technically. So si yo trabajo is always para alguien, okay? I always consider like the endpoint because your services go to the person, but there's nothing officially, but it's always para, okay? Just to let you know. So, okay, cool. So, what do you think is this use? For example, yo estoy leyendo para aprobar el examen. Well, this use is the reason why, and it's para because it has aprobar next to it, which is a verb, okay? And then, yo estoy leyendo por placer, I'm reading for pleasure. Placer is a noun, so that's why it goes with por. In this case, it's the reason why, but por, okay? So, we have first the endpoint or destination, the second one, literal purpose, the third one is the reason to do something, but with por is a noun and para is a verb, okay? So this is another example. Yo voy a volar a México para negociar, to negotiate a contract, or yo voy a volar a México por negocios, for business. So negociar is to negotiate and negocios is business. Okay, now let's do this use. What do you think is this use? For example, necesitamos ir al restaurante para, or I need to be at the restaurant by. Can you use this time? What does it say in here? I'm putting it bigger. Okay, para las 5 then. I need to be at the restaurant by 5. So what do you think is this use? It's not time, if you say time, is deadline. You had to do something by a certain day. Let's do another example where it says here deadline. I need to finish this project by, what do you think it is one? 3 p.m., 3 p.m. O yo necesito terminar este proyecto para las 3. In another video, I'm going to do the time, the use of time, but for now, we focus on this. So deadline, right? When you need to do something by somewhere, when you have a deadline, then it's para, always. Okay, what do you think is this use? She's tall for her age, or ella es alta para su edad. If you say comparison, is great. Some students of mine say comparison, and it's true. It's comparison by what? With an standard, okay? That's the use, comparison with an standard. So for example, she seems young for her age, ella parece joven para su edad. So comparison with a standard is that. So let's do a mini summary. What do we have? The endpoint or destination, then you have the literal purpose, then you have the reason why, por if it's a noun, and para if it's a verb. After that, you have the deadline, and now you have the comparison with a standard. So we have 5 of them. Okay, now in this case, what do you think is this use? Para mí, el arte es hermoso. In my opinion, the art is beautiful. Para él, la vida es buena. Para nosotros, la carne no es buena. Para mí, aprender un idioma es buena. If you say opinion, it's correct, and it's like the literal translation would be for me, or to me, this is good too. So that's why you use para always. Para mí, para ti, para él. So there you have the summary. You see endpoint, literal purpose, the reason to do something or in order to is para, and I would say por with a noun. And then deadline, comparison with a standard, and the last one, express an opinion. Good job. So now usos de por, the uses of por. Okay, let's go. So what do you think is this use? Voy por el parque para la casa. First of all, why is para la casa and not por la casa in this case? If you say endpoint is correct. It's para la casa because it's the destination where he's going, and that's why it's go para. And por el parque, what do you think is por el parque? If you say that it's not a non-specific place, it's correct. It's through or by. Let's see other examples so it's clearer. So for example, this one. And what do you think is the use? Vamos por la avenida. You see, we go by the avenue. The other we go by the park or through the park. Let's see this one now. Stop by or pass by. Paseamos por el centro comercial. So it's like saying we're passing by the centro comercial is the mall, or we stop by also could be. So for example, if I say, and yo voy por la farmacia, so by the pharmacy para tu casa. I can say, like, let's say you are sick and I need to get you medicine, so yo voy por la farmacia para tu casa. It means like I'm going to stop by the pharmacy or going by the pharmacy to your house to get you the medicine. So don't worry, I'll be, pass to pharmacy to, so it's pass por is in that case and para because it's the endpoint. So stop by or pass by. What do you think is this use then? Por no estudiar, reprobé el examen. For not studying, I failed the exam. Let me give you another. Por acostarme tarde, right? The girls are having fun. Me quedé dormida. For going to bed late, I fell asleep. If you say cause or purpose, it's okay, but you're missing something and very important. It's also cause and consequence. Whenever you have a cause and you have the consequence, then it's por. Whenever you don't have the consequence, it's para, right? The reason why, remember? So that's what is so important. For example, yo estudio para el examen, right? But in this case, where it says, por no estudiar, reprobé el examen. For not studying, so you're explaining the consequence in that case. Okay, so cause and consequence, second use. So first use, we say what? The first use was stop by or pass by, and the second one is like cause and consequence, okay? So what do you think is this use? So, vendo el carro por 3,000. I sell the car for 3,000. What do you think is that use? If you say price, you are correct. And what do you think? Compré el anillo. I bought the ring for $50. I bought the ring for $50. So it's price or in exchange of. When I exchange something for something. On exchange. So for example, te doy este regalo por este trago. So I give you this present in exchange of this cocktail. I don't remember if it's of or for this present. Maybe it's for. Sorry if I make that prepositional mistake in English. So te doy este regalo por este trago. So we have what we have. The first use, cause and consequence, and then we have cause and consequence, then we have the price, and the first one was stop by or pass by. Okay, and this one is price or in exchange. And then what is the difference in here, for example? Yo escribo una carta por ti, porque estás enfermo. I write a letter for you because you're sick. She's writing a letter because he's sick, right? And then, yo escribo una carta para ti. So I write the letter for you. What do you think is the difference? So in this case, it's because para ti is the endpoint. So this letter is going to him. So that's why it's para. And in this case, it's because on behalf of him. So on behalf is por. So let's see this one. You say on behalf of. Por ejemplo, mi asistente trabaja para mí. Like I was saying, you see, whenever you work for someone, it's always, okay, para. Whenever you work for somebody. So mi asistente trabaja para mí. She works for me. And yo estoy trabajando por mi asistente porque ella no vino. Because she didn't come. You see? So in this case, what is it? Well, he's working on behalf of his assistant because she didn't come. Okay? So on behalf of is the second one. So cause and consequence, right? Stop by or pass by, cause and consequence. Then price, and then you have price on in exchange, and then you have on behalf of. Then you have this one. What do you think is this use? Nosotros cocinamos por una hora. We cook for 1 hour. If you say in your mind duration of time, is correct. I work for a long time. So guys, any duration of time is para, por un año, por un tiempo, por un momento, por un rato, okay? Always for a duration of time, okay? Not deadline. Deadline is by certain point of time. Okay, so what do you think is this use now? Yo viajo por auto, travel by car. Yo me comunico por email. El abogado se comunica por correo. And then is the means of, very good. Or yo viajo por avión. So the means of you do something by email, by plane, by airplane is always por. Then what do you think is this use? So the literal translation of dos veces por semana is 2 times per week. So yo voy al gimnasio 2 veces por semana. Yo doy 2 bombones, are bonbons, por persona. La velocidad máxima es 60 millas por hora. Todos deben traer una botella por persona. So you see, this is like, so the use is per. Per is always para. That's easy, right? Per is always para. So first use, what do we have? Stop by or pass by. Second use, we had the cause and consequence. Third use, we have a price or an exchange. Fourth, on behalf of, then duration of time, means of, transportation or doing something, and then per now, P-E-R. Okay, and then the last one, expressions that always go with por are these ones, guys. This is just expressions, like in English, for example, always goes with for. So the same goes in Spanish. So gracias por ejemplos, for example, por lo tanto means therefore, por eso means that's why, por lo menos means at least, por supuesto is of course, y por fin is finally. So then these are things to practice that you have to translate and say why this is. So I'm gonna add this in the link below so you can practice. As your teacher, we can teach you like in our organization, or you can ask your teacher to give you the answers. But that's the idea of in our school. Our differentiation generally is that we only teach you, because obviously we're giving you this material for free, you can do it in time. We hold you accountable, but we introduce you to Spanish speakers to talk in your house. We send you mail with exercise, physical mail to your address to study. We have Q&A sessions. All of that is included. It's just a holistic way of learning, and you get to meet people too online. And one time maybe that's how I learned English. I became friends, and then I traveled to another country. So so don't forget to subscribe, and I hope to see you soon. Bye bye.